Hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today I'm gonna do an update on my last video where it was a Lee 420 lead melting pot major failure. Well, I have a major update. I talked to the folks over at Lee, and just as always, they were very gracious and helpful. They listened to me. They passed me from the lady at the front desk to a technician. The technician sent me over to John Lee, and that's how they do business over there. And he was just a very interesting fellow to talk to. Good people, just as I suspected, and that's one of the reasons I like Lee products to begin with. And we talked about this situation, you know, with the Lee pot failing, and you know, nobody called me crazy or tried to put me down or make fun of what I was doing. As a matter of fact, there was more interest in what I was doing than there was not. Anyway, thank you guys over at Lee Precision for your kindness and your courtesy and your just your good products overall. Anyway, I talked to them and I told them, you know, I mean, it's no secret, you know, I told them, you know, what I did. I put zinc inside of a lead pot, and you know, and clearly in the instructions, you know, it says right here, the following metals cannot, in bold, be melted in this pot: gold, silver, zinc, copper, pewter, aluminum. And you know, my first thought, of course, was, you know, they cannot be melted because temperature don't get hot enough or something like that. And as it turns out, it gets plenty hot. For you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, you can look at my last video on the Lee 420 lead melting pot major failure. Alright, because it blew a hole right in the pot there, straight through the base like a laser beam. It just blew right through there after, you know, hour and a half or so of the second time I used this new pot. So I talked to the guys over there, and you know, and apparently, you know, one of the reasons, I'm not saying this is all the reasons, we're talking about zinc here today. You know, we were doing an experiment with zinc bullets. I've made zinc bullets, I've casted zinc bullets, I've shot them, you know, and had pretty decent success at it so far. Well, it turns out that some of these metals react in a very negative and violent way with other metals, as it pertains to zinc. Zinc and steel don't play nice together, so it actually dissolved the steel, and the, you know, the temperature was hot enough and all of that, and it dissolved the steel because the zinc reacted with the steel and tried to alloy with it, and then blew a hole, and like a laser beam, right through the whole thing. So not a good idea to put zinc in our lead pots. Now, I'm not sure, you know, if you were to have a lead pot that had a stainless steel tub inside of it, you know, if that could do the trick, but I would advise you to read up on it and learn a little bit about it before you try it. But I'm thinking that could be a possibility. But what we're talking about is the Lee pot. You know, steel and zinc, the reaction, it dissolves it and blows through it. And it probably made it even worse because this was a brand new pot. And the brand new pot, you know, didn't have, you know, the patina on the steel, you know, and it reacted even better, you know, with the new steel pot than it would maybe an old one. I'm just throwing that out there as that could be a possibility, you know, for, you know, a better or worst case scenario. So anyway, so this caused quite a stir, you know, in the comments section, and man, I mean, it is quite the education that you get sometimes. Boy, when you know, when things go screwy, I mean, you tend to learn a lot, you know, and this is definitely the case here. You know, in the comment section, I pretty much had everything figured out on what had happened and how it happened before I even called Lee today. So, I mean, when I did the video, the last video on the failure, you know, I was expecting to get to the bottom of it after talking to Lee, and that wasn't the case. I got to the bottom of it. Pretty much I knew what had happened before I even called Lee today. So anyhow, it caused quite a stir. You know, everybody's involved, and man, I appreciate the comments are just over the top. It really is. You know, when you go through these videos, man, you'll learn all kind of stuff. There's some smart folks out there with some, you know, some good connections and good information. I appreciate you guys, every one of you, for the help and the education, and, you know, the safety education and all of that. So another thing that's happened is over there at Johnny's Reloading Bench, you know, he was checking out my video and he was like, wow, you know, I mean, something ain't right, you know. So he said that he would do a video today on how hot does a Lee 420 pot get, and he has a PID controller, you know, that has a digital readout of the temperature. He can control the pot with it, and it's a fancy piece of equipment where you can control the temperature exactly of your lead pot, and it also gives you the temperature of the pot. So he did a video. He just put a video out on how hot does a Lee 420 pot get. And I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert. I am not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you that you should go over there to Johnny's Reloading Bench. Most of you already know who he is and have already subscribed to him and all of that. And, you know, regular viewers. But if you don't know, go to Johnny's Reloading Bench and look at his latest video on how hot a lead pot gets, and it is shocking. I'll just say that. Okay, I was like, really? So check that out. Check that video out. And I mean, if you're not subscribed to him, you should subscribe to him. He's one of my regulars. I watch all of his stuff. He does some real detailed ladder work and all that, reloading and other stuff there too. And I also want to mention, also I'm gonna plug his he's got a JRB Outdoors channel as well. He's a hunter. He likes to hunt. He was invited to Texas just recently and did a hog hunt over there with some of his reloaded ammo. And man, it was better than watching a movie. You know, I'll just throw that out there. You should go over there and watch that video on JRB Outdoors. I just had a good time watching that. So it's kind of nice when you know, this one of my regulars, you know, I get to see him do this and that, and then his hunting video. But you know, every once in a while he'll, you know, hunting season and different things, you know, he'll use that channel over there to do one of his hunting videos and post it, that kind of thing. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. That was real cool. And another thing, to mention Johnny's Reloading Bench again, he's also very generous. And, you know, he's a very generous guy. He is going to build me a PID controller so that I will be able to tell how hot my pot is, and I can control it at any temperature I want. And that's how generous he is. Thank you very much, Johnny's Reloading Bench. That is so awesome. You know, take your time building that thing. I know you got other things to do, but that's a generous thing that you're doing there. I appreciate that. So he's going to build me this PID temperature controller, and so I'll have to think about, you know, this whole zinc thing. But in the meantime, I'll be able to control my pot, and we'll figure out, you know, how I'm going to go about making zinc bullets from here on out. I hadn't got that far yet, but anyway, there's the warning, you know, about putting those metals in these pots. It's not made for it. And lastly, over there at Lee Precision, the last thing John Lee told me is, he said, just send your pot in and we're going to replace it. And I was like, even though I put zinc in it? He said, yep. So he's going to replace my pot for me. So there you go. I know a lot of you guys were like, I wonder what Lee's going to do for them. You know, I hope they take care of them and all that. Well, they did. Alrighty, YouTube. You guys have a good one. And I just wanted to update this. And I'm probably, there's so much good stuff and comments on that other video. I think I'm going to leave that up, and I'm just going to annotate it on the video, and you know, just so people will be warned about exactly how it happened and what happened, that kind of thing. And I'll put a link to Johnny's Reloading Bench down below, and you guys can click on that if you don't know how to just go on over there. YouTube, I'll see you in the next video.